Alright. So you probably noticed too that we haven't found any secrets yet. That's because this level actually only has one secret. I just missed a skeleton. That one secret is right here, which actually contains the final weapon of the game. Secret ammo depot, and this is the SBC cannon. This is quite arguably the best weapon in the game. You only get 30 cannonballs as a maximum amount to carry, but this thing is bloody powerful. It is one of the best weapons when I say it is. So, we're gonna try and get some use out of that towards the end of the stage. You can actually see, there's the tower way far out there. The Trixa was telling us about what we were to expect in this level, and one of the things she mentioned was that there's like a really giant tower at the end of the level. So, that's where we're going. You thought we were being sneaky, were you? It's actually a bit more difficult to see those enemies because there's some shadowing. In the HD remake, it's more difficult to see those enemies because there's shadowing effects. That kind of makes it a tad bit more difficult to see them, which is somewhat notable. You out there. I have no business with you. I have business with this biomech and that bomber who just got bombed by a grenade. And please, thank you. Just had to take a moment to hit that one guy with a grenade. It was important. I was thinking about maybe using the grenade launcher, but on like these biomechs right here, but they're kind of swarming me, so I'm gonna resort to using rockets instead, which works just as well. There's another guy out there. Alright, I thought that harpy was actually something that was being flung up right into the air, but such is not the case apparently. That kind of scared me, admittedly. So yeah, that was the only secret back there. You can check these corridors. There's always going to be items in these corridors, and sometimes enemies, such as this guy right here. So that's one thing to keep in mind. I could use more bullets. That would be very nice. Maybe I should just use the laser gun more often. Yeah, that spawned another guy. I think this spawns a bunch of clear skeletons, so that's not really good. I'm gonna use the grenade launcher now because the grenade launcher works so well against clear skeletons. That's my excuse. I'm sticking with it. Just as long as I don't get hit by their balls and chains, I should be fine. And worst comes to worst, I'll just panic and switch to the laser gun and then just go pew 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 pew, and maybe I'll get a couple kills. We'll see. There is one downside to the grenade launcher, actually. You can see right here is that where they separate the enemies, the explosion kind of bounces them off, and that's not really that good. So that's why I'm switching to the laser gun right now, because I'm scared. And I'm kind of backed into this corner right now, but no worries. I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm just holding down the button, and if I die here, then I'm probably going to have to rethink my strategy. Which is not really a good strategy. I probably could have actually made an effective use out of using the cannon right here. It would be really nice if I had something like a flamethrower to deal with this, but that is a weapon in the second encounter, and sadly not the first encounter. But it doesn't matter, because we have defeated all the dastardly skeletons, and I can pick up this armor now. So it's all good. I had that planned out perfectly. Okay. So now I can pick up this laser gun ammo. That's a plus. And these rockets. And there should be maybe one guy that's being sneaky back here. No. Alright. There are a couple more arachnoids over here. Not too big to deal with, just kind of choose to pick out one at a time. And you should be fine. Oh, there's only two. I thought there would be one up there. There's a bunch of reptiloids that spawn here. I'm actually gonna save my cannonball ammo. Basically, there's three over there. There's actually one behind us. I'm trying to prioritize right now. So, yeah, there he is. And going to get this bomber. There's more skeletons, sadly, but I don't think there's as much of a preposterous amount as there were about a minute ago. As you quite clearly saw, there were a lot of skeletons back then, but there aren't very many right now, so that's comforting to know. believe there's a kamikaze. No, there's a clear skeleton right here, but there's a kamikaze up ahead. I do remember that. I just want to go ahead and trigger this very obvious enemy trigger right here. That's it. Just wanted to show that off. So we're coming around to the halfway point of this extremely long corridor. We're just gonna have to walk forward in a second. First of all, a couple of pickups that I need. I believe kamikaze is standing right here. Does he have any brothers by any chance? No? Right. Okay, so this next part right here, I think I may end up having to resort to quick saves because I'm genuinely scared of falling into this pit right here. So, Trixa has analyzed this. This is a guarding area. We are now done with the residential area. Now you'll enter the guarding area that surrounds the Temple of Ptah, which is out in the distance in the picture. This means that we are very close to our goal. You can expect some heavy resistance there. Lovely. These spikes look nasty. We'll have to figure out how to pass them. Right you are, Trixa. And what is that? Hark! I hear the sound of an in-rushing bull! So, yeah. This kind of happens. Basically, the bull runs forward, he dies by the spikes, but the next one actually brings the bridge forward, and I want to show something right here. So this one will bring the bridge forward, as you can clearly see. So, he's in our line of sight, and the bridge will keep doing this until it eventually stops sending bull spawns at you, and the game pretty much gives up, and it moves the platform forward, basically saying, you know what, you should seriously just move on with the level by now. So, just gonna wait for that to happen, get the worst of these bulls out of the way. And this is where we normally get the minigun, but of course I got the minigun way back when, which was at the Oasis level, so that was a bit more preferable in my opinion. And I think this might actually be the last bull that needs to spawn. I'm just gonna chip him off with the rocket as soon as he notices me, and flies straight into the air, and falls into the pit. I love physics in this game. So, yeah, the game's just pretty much like, alright, screw you, just get on the bloody this platform and move to the other side. I'm gonna need this ammo pack. Doesn't have any cells in it, which is a little bit concerning, because I'm probably going to need to use this gun. But I'm gonna leave this behind, as well as this minigun, because I know what I'm doing. I'm gonna actually quick save right here, and hopefully we will not die. This is probably one of the worst parts in the game, next to the marsh hopper area. So, first of all, it's not actually that bad. It starts off with a bunch of bulls, and like I said, that's not really that bad, but the problem arises when you move forward, and there is just an ungodly amount of clear skeletons that we will be dealing with. Let me just leave it at that. You shall see when the time comes, and it's also one of the reasons why I'm conserving all my cannonball ammunition, because we will be needing that. When I say there's a lot of clear skeletons, I kinda mean it. And I prefer to use the minigun right now because these bulls are kinda closing in, and that's not really that good. Theoretically, I could actually just lead a bunch of them into the pit, but then again, I have a feeling that the platform, which moves over the pit, might end up moving for the bulls, and it might assist them in getting on the other side and getting me from behind, and that's not exactly that good. Okay. Oh, my plans were ruined because you've noticed me. At a very difficult time. Okay, that's pretty much the gist of it. Not many bullets left, sadly. So we're going to have to resort to using a lot of explosives, I'd imagine. Let's just run forward. This doesn't look too bad. I mean, got another ammo backpack over there, which I'm not sure if I can pick up in time, actually. Because if you walk over here, then it starts sending out the clear skeletons. You can see they're spawning right there. And this is going to be a bit of a problem. But luckily I got the ammo backpack, so I have plenty of ammunition to deal with this. Just eventually going to be wanting to use the cannonballs, so I'm going to start off by using the minigun, which is pretty effective against clear skeletons. Probably one of the most effective weapons in the game, but then again, the cannon is also pretty much a godsend because it insta-kills them. And we have really, really long rows of them. That's where it truly shines. So, I'm out of minigun ammunition. I'm gonna take a shot. So there are different ways you can actually fire this. You can charge it just like I did right there. Or you could just let the cannonball run super quickly across the ground. Depending on when you charge it is how much more power it's actually going to do, so bear that in mind. And now I'm out of very quick projectile-based weapons, and I have to resort to explosive weaponry. Worst comes to worst, I'm definitely switching to the cannon. Kinda would have liked to have more cells for this area, but what can you do? I had other priorities that needed to be dealt with, such as defeating other enemies with the cells. Once I run out of rockets, I don't exactly know what I'm going to do. I'm probably going to end up switching to the grenade launcher. Or if not, then definitely going to be switching to something such as the cannon, because that's pretty much all I'm going to have left. In fact, I'm actually going to take a shot right now, and maybe another shot. Good measure. So now I actually have a couple shots fired, and that at least guarantees me a bit of safety. And we're actually coming down to the last of them, actually, so just make sure to spend your ammunition in whatever order possible that pleases you. You should survive that, but you definitely want to keep a couple of cannonballs for one of the next parts, which is in the final arena that I was talking about, the Temple of Ptah, over there. And that should have been the worst of the enemies, actually, so we should be good. This gate should open when we run forward, and right I am. Here it is, the giant temple. I've got a quick save. Analyzing. What do you have to say, Detrixa? Finally, we have arrived. This monumental building in front of us is the Temple of Ptah. Inside it is the item that we are looking for. So close, yet so far. Expect them to attack with all their might. I saw you fighting, and I can tell that there is nothing you cannot beat. Sam, you are the man. I am the man. Okay. So this is a giant arena, evidently enough. There's going to be lots of enemy spawns. And unfortunately, I don't have any bullets to deal with this area. But, you know what? That is okay, because for the most part, at the beginning here, it's just going to be kamikazes, and there's a set location that I like to stand in. So you pick up that armor, and start spawning kamikazes all around you. I like to stand over here, actually, because it just works. I can hear where enemies are going to spawn, such as right here, and then right behind me. So just stay in one specific area, you should be fine. The shotgun works pretty well because the kamikazes will die in one hit at close range. And the pistols also work just as well against long-range opponents. Unfortunately, I'm in a bit of a tizzy right now, and I'd like to at least keep my bearings. So this guy's running towards me from over here. Plenty of prioritizing that needs to be done. Just bear in mind where the enemy sounds close enough to you to which they might explode in your face, and look all around you at all times. That's really all the advice I can give you for this part. So it's not too difficult. Not too difficult, just try not to stay in the center. Boop. You're at the distance, I don't need to worry about you too much. So are you. Take a moment to reload. And you are approaching me from the door, that's lovely. Actually, I would also like to mention right here that this area, in multiplayer, is one of the most fun areas to rocket jump. To explain that in a moment, the temple right over there, after I clear out these kamikazes I might explain it, because the kamikazes are scary and I don't want to be distracted while fighting these guys. Just a couple more. You're getting a little too close for comfort there, good sir. And you, I don't really care about you. Neither you. Neither you. Neither you. How did that first shot miss? I have no idea, but I'm not going to argue against it. Da, 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 da. Phone is ringing in the background. I don't want to answer it because I'm in the middle of a recording session. I'm sorry, but that call will have to wait. Okay. Yeah, that was a one-liner, and that was the first sequence. Now, I was saying about rocket jumping. I'll show you a little step-by-step process. Basically, first you rocket jump up here, onto this wall, and then onto that wall, and then onto that wall, and off of the corner of that giant area. The way rocket jumping in Serious Sam works, I showed it before, is that if you have a ledge sort of like this, which goes up at a certain angle, the enemy spawned when I was not ready for it, actually. If you rocket jump there at a certain angle, then you'll be able to basically pull off by firing 2 rockets that propel you upwards against the wall, and it leads to some pretty awesome jumps, I should say. Why did I say drops? I have no idea why I said drops. And eventually, you can actually get to the very top of the temple if you have someone working with you on a server that has friendly fire on. And basically the way that works is that to get to the very top, first you have to get to the second highest point, and then after that, you have to rocket jump against the side of the wall, like I said. And then after that, you have to have the guy who has the friendly fire on right below you has to shoot you with lasers, because the lasers actually push you upwards, and that's kind of a cool effect. So yeah, this is the second wave you can see right now, which is a bunch of harpies. And I didn't think they'd actually spawn immediately while I was trying to explain the physics of rocket jumping in this game, but as it turns out they did, so it's a bit of a rude interruption. Otherwise, I think they spawn immediately once you pick up that ammo pack that I did when I was in a bit of a panic. Because I had no bullets, and having bullets is kind of vital to defeating this wave of enemies. You know what? I'm gonna take you out with a knife.
That's right. It's all in the wrist.
Well put, Sam. Well put. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much how you rocket jump up there. I probably didn't explain it too well. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask me in the comment section below. This is what I was saving the cannonballs for, because this next area is just a giant horde of bulls, and I'm not really a fan of bulls. So that wasn't too bad, but there's going to be a bunch more, so we have to be careful. Also, it is wise with the cannon that you not run into your own cannonballs, because it kind of hurts. Just thought I'd point that out if it weren't obvious enough. So yeah, this is what the cannon truly shines in, with just the giant hordes of bulls. If you could just sort of make sure you align them perfectly in a row like that, then just fire a charge shot. It will go pretty much through all the bulls in the world, and you won't have anything to exactly panic about. So I think there's one more wave, and Sam will have another one-liner after that. So I'm going to try kite them towards me once again. Gonna keep my distance, and adjust my mouse pad too, because my hand is a little bit sweaty from keeping a grip on the mouse in my palm. And I'm out of cannonballs, but that is okay because I had pretty much enough to do the job as is.
Now that's a lot of bull.
Well spoken. Now the last part, which isn't too bad, but it's kind of just a combination, as you can see right here, of clear skeletons and biomechs. Biomechs should probably be your first priority, and like get rid of one of them that's on the side, and then focus a bit more on like clear skeletons right here. If you can get the biomechs rockets to hit the clear skeletons, that will do some of your job for you, which is pretty nice. So just try to let that happen. You should be good. Now the way they spawn is sort of on a weird timer, so as you can see, the biomechs are actually a bit late right now, and I can safely deal with these clear skeletons first before focusing my attention towards simp biomechs. There they are, now they've spawned. I'm getting pushed back a little bit far towards the other end of the arena, but that is okay, because these skeletons aren't too spooky to deal with. And now there's more that have spawned. Might have to do a bit of strafing work to avoid them, I'm going to use the minigun to try and tear right through them as much as possible. As much as possible, I mean pretty much until I run out of ammunition, in which case I'm kind of forced to just circle strafe a majority of these guys. But I'm going to try and switch to my laser gun. I hit the wrong key to get the laser gun on my screen, but that is okay, because I could just use the mouse wheel too. That works. Try using the mouse wheel when you can if you're in a bit of a panic. Otherwise, using the arrow, not the arrow keys, what am I saying? Using the number keys will give you a specific weapon that you want to select. That's pretty good. I'm gonna try and circle strafe these guys enough so that way I can land maybe... No, this would be too dangerous. I better use the shotgun. Using explosives up close, not exactly going to work unless you're in tourist or easy mode, in which case your own explosives don't actually hurt you. But otherwise, in modes beyond that, in this case I'm obviously playing on hard mode, then you probably want to resort to using something like the shotgun. But it works just as well because circle strafing clear skeletons, probably one of the easiest things you can do. So giant hordes of them, not really anything to panic over. Boom! And that was the Metropolis level, which was a pretty long level and not exactly my favorite level as I've mentioned so far, but still we got through it nonetheless. Going to enter the Temple of Ptah, and we are leaving this dastardly place. Oh, actually, one more thing. You can also rock jump onto the top of these little spires right there. I've never actually done that before. Like, I'm not exactly sure what the positioning is to actually get onto the very top, but you can stand on the very top, and it's really weird. So, just thought I'd point that out. I'm gonna run ahead holding the knife because, well, it looks kinda cool, I guess. And this little cutscene shows Sam running off into the darkness of the temple, which is basically a black wall. And the darkness turned into a light area, which is where we need this artifact. And this artifact, I forget its name, but I believe it's going to help us in some sort of way to it's going to help us in a certain way to enter a certain area, and I believe that might actually be the level after... Nah. The level after the next level of the next level we're going to. So yeah, we got all the secrets of this level. That was pretty simple, and now we're moving on to the Alley of the Sphinxes. We captured the Amun-Ra item in the Temple of Ptah, that's what it's called, but I know nothing about it or its purpose. I believe that even the Memphis leaders did not know what to do with it. They just seem to have kept it away from the Thebans. We headed to the we headed to the Thebes to find out more about this item. After a few days of walking in the burning desert, we are finally approaching Thebes. You are forced to abandon most of your ammo in the desert to ease your walking, but don't be upset, you kept shotgun shells, and I'm reasonably certain that there is no monster that can stop us from entering this ancient sacred place. Also, we have all 4 elements that will open the gates of Thebes. This is what we need the elements for, to enter Thebes, and we needed that item from Amun-Ra to get into the place which is the level... It's going to be used in the level after this level, which we will play in the next time. So, until then, thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great day or evening, and I guess I will see you in the next video where my voice will be more fit for doing more commentary because it's kind of dying right now. And reading things, I'm kind of stumbling over my own words. So thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great day or evening. I guess I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.
Huh.